everyone, and welcome to a cozy little catch-up journal with me. So, if I'm being honest, I don't really have a journaling routine. I don't wake up every morning and journal for 5 minutes, and I don't journal every single night before I go to bed. When I journal is pretty much dependent on if I have time and if I have the mind for it. Because as you know, not only am I a mood reader, but apparently I'm a mood journaler. So today I'm going to walk you through a sort of lazy, calm Sunday afternoon where I chose to catch up on all of my journals because I had the mind space for it and I just wanted to do some journaling. So this first part here is me going through my reading journal and updating all of the spreads that have to do with tracking releases and purchases and whatnot. I also paused to show off the first page of my reading log because I completed it and it looks so cool. I love how it turned out with all of the lines filled out. I then flipped through the rest to make sure that that's all updated, so if I had bought something for my wish list, that got checked off. No updates for the most part, so I just flipped to my reading journal. This is the reading journal that I update with how much of a book that I have read daily, essentially using percentages to track the reading and using different colors to signify different books. So here you see me breaking out a calculator. I crack open the book and I find the page I'm in. I was on the 144th page, and I think there were over what am I saying? There were over 300 pages in this book. So I just did some quick, easy math to get that I was about 39% of the way through this book. Now, a mistake that I'm about to make is that I assume that I'm not going to read a book. So I filmed this actually on Saturday, it seems like, and I was in a mood and I didn't think that I was actually going to end up reading anything that day. So I ended up first of all, I ended up actually reading later that day. I got like more than half of the way through A Lesson in Vengeance. But I made the mistake of filling out this day in the calendar like I hadn't read. So the way my calendar system kind of currently works is that on the days that I don't read, I don't really punish myself with a blank space. I feel like it's oddly punishing if I were to just leave the space blank. So what I do is I highlight the bottom of the page with a certain color, and then I put in stickers, make it happy, make myself not feel bad for not reading that day. Okay, so that is all for my reading journal update. The next thing that I'm pulling out is my traveler's notebook. At this point in time, my traveler's notebook still consisted of my content creator journal, my educator journal, and my commonplace journal. So I made some updates to my content creator journal since that setup video. The first thing I did was I made 3 different to-do pages for the 3 major social media platforms that I have. So a blog specific to-do list, a YouTube specific to-do list, and what's the last one? Oh yeah, Instagram specific to-do list. And this was just because I was definitely filling out a lot of the to-do list more for my blog than my other 2 platforms. So the to-do list was going by really quickly and I was just constantly writing it for my blog. So I thought, why not save some space, not have to signify that specifically for my blog, and just write blog at the top and then write all of my to-dos for the blog in one page, YouTube on the other, and Instagram on the last. Ironically, I said that I don't often have to-dos for my other 2 social media platforms, but my YouTube page actually, as I'm recording this voiceover, has gotten filled up. So I put down all of the different steps of making a YouTube video. I break it down in case I have to stop at some point, like for example, maybe I filmed one day but I didn't get to edit. I want to be a little gracious to myself, and I break it up into different parts so that if I don't get to everything that day, I don't feel bad about it, and I can still check off something from my to-do list and feel sort of productive. Not that I base my worth off of productivity or anything. Ha ha ha, nervous chuckles. The next part was reviewing and updating my educator journal. So I just looked at some recent entries because it's really nice to refresh myself on things that I've learned recently. I haven't been teaching very often recently just because I took a break, some time for myself, and it was spring break, so I didn't have anything to update this educator journal with. I also didn't have anything really to put in my commonplace journal, so I skipped right to my GU Traveler's Notebook insert. If you haven't seen the setup video for this, I will link it up in the cards. But essentially, in case you missed it, this is my daily memory keeping log, wherein every single day I will write down one memorable thing that happened, and it can be something good, something bad, or something just that made the day stand out from all the others, just because there's some things happening recently that, you know, I kind of want to keep track of. And also, I have this massive sticker collection. Like you'll see in the sticker book, I have all of these stickers that I don't use and I want to use. They're just silly, fun, mismatched stickers. And I think that in this format where I'm just like throwing them down sort of willy-nilly, it looks quite cute. I really do like the chaotic look of this of this life log thing currently. So yeah, it's the end of March as I'm recording this voiceover, and I've honestly really enjoyed this very simple daily journaling that takes very little time, very little brain power, and I'm finally using some of my sticker stash that was honestly just collecting dust. Oh my gosh, can you tell it's been a long day? So yeah, I'm very happy with how this is going currently, and I hope that I can just continue filling this out through the months with all of my memories and everything going on, because I'm about to have a very eventful few months, what with graduating and moving, hopefully getting a new job, all that good stuff. So I think this will be a really great way to one day look back on this extremely, and I cannot stress how extremely stressful and crazy this year has been. Yeah, sorry, I didn't really have anything to add there. I wanted to wait for the next part because I honestly forgot what was coming up next. The next thing that I did today was I felt like setting up the April spread for this monthly memory keeping log. I don't know, I haven't really formalized the name, nor do I refer to it as anything consistently. So again, if you missed the video where I set up the March version of this, essentially all I do is I write down the month in the top right corner, and then I take a pen and I write down all of the dates because this is an undated planner. So I went with a green theme for April, even though I used a green theme in my reading journal for March, but I digress. I used a Marvie Le Pen Flex in green to letter the month, and then I think this is a Pilot razor tip fine, what is it called? Like a fine tip pen. I would really like to find out the name of this kind of pen. I really should research that. Editing Mari, go and research that. And then I'm taking out my trusty old Serica Studio, sort of not really washi tape. My go-to, I love these designs so much. Again, I still have my gripes with the fact that it's not really a washi tape and how I struggle with putting it down, because I don't know about you guys, but the one thing I really love about washi tape is that it is so forgiving. Like the fact that you can remove it and it doesn't like lose much of the adhesive, it doesn't rip the paper, it maintains a lot of its shape and original design. Like those are the things that really make washi tape, right? So for this to be called washi tape, when I struggle with this so much, it feels wrong. This tape should have imposter syndrome. I would like to give this tape imposter syndrome as like recompense for all the other things that have personally given me imposter syndrome. Okay, I guess I'm being particularly vengeful today for some reason, but I digress. One thing that I think I'm about to do is I'm about to take my bone folder and I'm going to rip the center of the quote-unquote washi tape where the crease of the pages is. I got some questions just from friends who watched my video why I do this. This is to break the washi tape and make it so that when the journal opens and closes, it isn't affected by the washi tape holding it down. Because I find so often that, you know, when you have a piece of tape at the bottom of the page, if you don't get it like perfectly exactly in the crease, it'll mess up the way that the page lays flat. So I'm a little anal, I guess, about getting that to lay flat. So what I do is I break the tape at the crease. Okay. And then I just stuck on some stickers to keep with the green theme. I didn't have much else to journal about, so that's pretty much all I have for this journal catch-up. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I hope you had a good day. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye!